May sometime. May 5th. I am driving up to one of my favorite places on the planet called Stanley, Idaho. It's in the Sawtooth, central Idaho. I've been all over this great planet of ours, and I'm biased because I grew up here, but it is God's country. It's where I go to get mountain therapy, just ground myself, do some hiking, nature. Anyway, I'm driving here with my 1978 Barneys. They still make these anymore? I'm looking at the road. Thought I'd talk a little bit about cryptocurrency. If anybody, you had to be kind of living under a rock if you haven't heard about it. It's sort of making the news. It's actually making the news big time, especially this last year. It's come to fruition. So, I'm still learning a lot about it, but I got involved in cryptocurrency in 2015. Back when it was even more of the wild, wild west than it is now. And they didn't have like Coinbase and all these other exchanges. And you had to do things really a lot more difficult. Almost you need to know how to program to buy Bitcoin and to transfer it to wallets and all sorts of stuff. It's crazy. But I originally got into it because I'm always looking around. My life is always about curiosity. That's who I am. And trying to learn things that I may see may be fruitful for me, but also what the future may bring. And when I started reading about cryptocurrency and what powers that, which is called the blockchain. The blockchain is the engine that drives all of this. And it basically, I won't get into technical things for you now, but the blockchain is basically what it is it decentralizes the monetary system. Meaning, the big thing for me back in 2015 when I started learning about this, it takes the power away from the banks. And I've always been an outsider, and I've always said over and over, the power is in the people, and we've been controlled by a lot of things. And banks being big time, they've got a lot of power and a lot of control over every aspect of our life. So when I heard that it's a decentralized currency that takes the power away from the banks were screaming about it way back then, all the financial people, I said, I want to learn all about this. So the blockchain is what everyone runs through, and what it does is basically it's algorithms, computers, all sorts of programs that take the currency, which is a digital currency, and make it, they'll always, I'm sure that people will figure it out down the road in some aspects, but it makes it practically counterfeit proof, and you can't steal it, you can't do fraud with it, you can't rip somebody off. So if I pay you through cryptocurrency, it goes through a series of checks and balances, thousands of them through the computer and through algorithms and programs that keeps that transaction on record forever, and there's no way to go back on that transaction. So basically it eliminates a lot of cheating, a lot of fraud. So there was a lot of great things about it when I started learning about it, and it's something I say to everyone this day. Even if you don't try to and want to invest in any crypto, at least learn about the blockchain and cryptocurrency, because it's become part of our lives now, and it's going to be a big part of our future. There's no doubt about that. So by the way, I am not a financial advisor. Don't take this as financial advice. This is just my opinion. So back in 2015, 2016, 2017, the big crash for crypto, Bitcoin was one. So under cryptocurrency, you had coins that were being made. So Bitcoin was an early adapter. And Bitcoin was used by a lot of the gamers. My brother in Seattle was using it, or had friends. He's a lawyer for Microsoft, and he's a gamer, and they use it as tokens to exchange on games. This is before it was worth anything, worth cents. And Bitcoin was sort of the early one to come out of the pack. And then all these other coins started happening. You've got Ethereum, you've got Litecoin, you have all what they call these altcoins that have been happening, that are all alternative coins that have various uses, from real estate to sometimes no use at all to whatever. It's the Wild West. So it started gaining in power and gaining in the fiat currency, which is the dollar, started increasing in some of these coins, started getting some backing, Bitcoin especially. So Bitcoin went from a few cents a coin to about I think it was 2017 of December, it was up to about $20,000 a Bitcoin. And then that big crash in the cryptocurrency market occurred 3 years ago. and everything went down again, and it's coming back up again. To say this cryptocurrency market is volatile is an understatement. It's not for the faint of heart. And there's a word that we say in the crypto market is HODL. It's an acronym that stands for hold on for dear life, meaning you get into it for long term. Because if you're getting it into, a lot of people do day trading, and we know a little bit more about it now, but if you're getting into it like the stock market or something that's stable or something you can turn around in 2 weeks, you're getting in it for the wrong reasons, because this is all about the long game. A lot of the coins that are out now, you won't hear about them in a year. A lot of coins that are just gaining traction now, they may be the next big thing. It is so Wild West, but it's exciting for, especially, like, I'm an entrepreneur by nature. I love this stuff. So I got into crypto knowing that I may lose the money. I didn't get into it to make money. I got in it to learn, so I was investing small amounts of money back then. But Bitcoin came out of the pack, and as it came along, we're hearing about all the banks, all the financial institutions, all the credit card companies, I mean all of them, all the so-called financial experts, stockbrokers, Warren Buffett, all of them were calling blockchain and the cryptocurrency fads and completely malarkey, and they were poo-pooing it for years. And this is what happens. You've got to remember history from, and keep an eye on these things. Well, it was a wave that can't be stopped. So most of those people are not only silenced and shut up, they become adapters of it. No word from Buffett. All these credit card companies are starting to accept it. All these banks are starting to accept it. PayPal just came out, I think, a month ago or two, that they're accepting cryptocurrency. So people are adopting it because if you can't beat them, join them. So it is a wave that's happening. And now all the so-called experts are on board and they seem to know it all, but it's still, nobody really knows. There is sort of a method to the madness. But as we're seeing now, cryptocurrency, there's 3 ones that have come out of the pack in the last 5-6 years that have really sort of stabilized. That's Bitcoin, BTC in the market. There's Ethereum, ETH, and there's Litecoin, LTC, I believe. Those have been pretty stable over the last 4 to 5 years, and they are increasing in value. Bitcoin is now hovering around $60,000, where it started out 5 years ago. It was, well, after the crash, it was down to $3,000, $4,000. So if you bought a Bitcoin, for instance, back in 2016 when it was around $2,000 to $3,000, and you held on to it, it would be worth around $60,000 now. And there's a lot of people saying that it's going to triple, quadruple in value. And that goes the same with a lot of these other coins. Maybe, but again, it could not. It could crash. This is why it's volatile. And a lot of these altcoins that are happening now, I invest in small these altcoins, and one of the ones that's the big joke you may have heard about that Elon Musk is having fun with, called Dogecoin. It is really like the gold rush days of yesteryear. A Dogecoin was made, I don't know, 10 years ago, maybe a little less, by some people as a joke. A dog coin. It was made as a joke. And it's always been around a couple of cents a coin, just hovering out there. Gamers use it, things like that. Well, Elon Musk started messing with it and talking about it, and some other things happened now. And I bought some Dogecoin, 6 months ago at about 4 cents a coin. And now it's, as of this morning, it was around 61 cents a coin. And it's increasing in value. So I've made about $1,500 off that. I bought about $250 worth. Now, I say this not to get everyone excited and jumping, because for that amount that I put in, I've lost some monies too in the past 5 or 6 years based on, it's like going to gamble. You're going to put it on red and hope it increases hope it hits on the roulette wheel. It's very volatile, so you get into it. I'm saying again, I'm not giving advice, but I get into it for fun, knowing that I may lose the money, so I'm not putting a whole lot into like these altcoins and stuff, and the stuff that makes me money, great. However, I am investing personally, this is just me, heavily in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. Those are the 3 big ones. Cardano is another one that I think is going to come up. But it's decentralized currency where the power is back in the people's hands, not the banks. That's why the banks is having such a hissy fit over it. They can't control it. It's in our control. That's what I love about it. And where it goes, I don't know. But it's going to play, the cryptocurrency, the blockchain is going to play a big part of our lives in the future, no matter where it goes. Whether it all crashes for a while, I can't tell you. But it's going to play a big part because the technology is there and it's part of the future of our financial future. That is for sure. And it's something that I highly recommend you at least learn about and maybe dabble around. If you want to learn a little bit more and you want to like mess with it a little bit, you want to get onto Coinbase. It's one of the big exchanges. They just released a coin, actually a crypto coin, 3 weeks ago. Coinbase is one of the main exchanges. It's in the US. You can be a citizen here in the US and use it. And then you can get in and learn about a little bit about crypto there. You can see where you can check, they've got little graphs and charts and things on like where Bitcoin has gone in the last year and the pluses and how it's risen, and like the stock market. You can check it out. But it's definitely something to learn and something to at least know about, whether you mess with it or not. Now, you basically buy cryptocurrency, most of it with, dollars, with fiat currency. So you put up on Coinbase, for instance, you put your credit card or your debit card in and say you want to buy a Bitcoin, and you don't have to buy the full Bitcoin. You can buy fractional amounts of any sort of cryptocurrency that's out there. Litecoin, which is around $300 something now. You can buy one Litecoin for whatever it is today, or you can buy a fraction of it. You can buy $10 worth, and you'll get a percentage of that will be put in your account in Coinbase, for instance. And you use your debit card or credit card. You'll have to run through a series of verifications to say who you are. I'm going over to Galena Summit now. This is gorgeous. And then you sit on it, and then what happens is there's wallets you can learn about. There are digital wallets where you send your cryptocurrency to go in a safe storage space. And there's a lot to learn about it. But again, I'm just throwing out stuff that I do. I'm not making any recommendations or financial recommendations, but I am recommending that you at least learn what this is all about, because it is our future and the future is here in many ways. Now, it's going to lead to already has started a long-term impact on the banks, on the Fed, and a lot of people are saying that as Bitcoin increases to 60,000 now, we're at 60,000 fiat dollars for a Bitcoin, that's adding to the inflation of the US dollar, which is already down around the world. A lot of people are talking about we may be going back to the gold standard in this country once things start changing ahead. So there's a lot of speculation, but the thing I know for sure, at least what I think in my world, is that things are not what they used to be. So we can see that going around in the world. So it's good to kind of never put your eggs all in one basket either. I put the majority of my money, by the way, in silver and gold. Silver especially. I think I follow a lot of people who are much smarter than I am, is severely undervalued right now. It's about $26 an ounce, and there's a lot of people saying that's going to go really high. So you can't, for the most part, you can't go wrong with precious metals and real estate. Those are two things. So if you do decide on your own volition, not my advice, get involved in any sort of financial thing, and you get involved in cryptocurrency, make sure you spread your money around. Don't put it all in crypto, for instance, and try to make that big win. Be prudent about it. Put it in solid investments too, things you get your money back on, that are stable, not just the quick win. So I thought I'd give you a little bit of background on that. I enjoy the heck out of the crypto market. I sort of like that rush. Again, I'm in for it for fun, and if I make money along the way, which I am, and like I said, half of it is in there for an investment, but it's just fun for me. I really enjoy it because it's fun to watch. It's a roller coaster ride. Anyway, that's it. I'm coming down into the Sawtooth Valley, into Smiley Creek. I'll take pictures of this video coming back, and I'm down for about 5 days. I got a cabin on the Salmon River. I'm doing a wedding tomorrow, but I'm just up here for mountain therapy. So we'll talk to y'all later. Bye.